want you to look at your man, not back at me. Do his teeth look like this? Is this the mouth that you kiss good night and good morning? Because if so, you are disgusting, repulsive, no good, full-flashing. I know, completely atrocious, right? And the fact that unfortunately, I do have to admit, those are my teeth. That is not a Google image. But if you think about it, everyone's taken a photo at some point in their life and they feel like that's how their teeth look. Maybe that's how your teeth look now. Regardless, that's why today's video, I'm going to go over this brand new technique that I found that's 100% all natural on how to whiten your teeth, right? So I came across this video by another creator by the name of Ropo Demure. I know, right? Demure, very mindful. No, but basically, her information and the link to that original video will be down in the description below. But basically, she uses this process where she uses two natural ingredients to whiten her teeth and maintain her oral hygiene. And so I was like, interesting. I want to try it, right? Because obviously I've heard of, crest whitening strips, whitening gels and a bunch of different things that you can do. But I was like, this is natural, it's organic. Let me go ahead and give this a shot. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try it out. I'm going to walk you guys through the process on how to prepare everything. I'm going to try it. We're going to have a before and after comparison in 30 days. And I'll give you all my honest feedback associated with how I think it works and if it's something that, is effective for me. Now, as a disclaimer, remember, it's always best to consult with a professional in the oral hygiene space before starting any new oral hygiene regimen or routine, just to ensure it's the best for you. It's not going to cause you any harm or long or short-term damage. So remember, proceed at your own risk. Let's check with a professional first. In the video, Ropo describes, we'll do this in order. The first step of this teeth whitening regimen that you're going to do is something called oil pulling. Now, in the video, Ropo uses coconut oil. I also use coconut oil, which you can get at pretty much any grocery store. As far as I know the one that we get, I believe, is from Costco because you buy them in bulk. But you can get coconut oil, just raw organic coconut oil, pretty much anywhere. And all you're going to do is you're going to get about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of coconut oil on a spoon. And then you're going to swish it back and forth, kind of like a mouthwash, for about 5 to 10 minutes. And I usually do this when I'm in the shower because, one, that's about how long it takes you to shower if you're doing it efficiently and effectively, 5 to 10 minutes. And then when I get out of the shower, I can spit out the oil and continue on with the flow of my typical morning routine. It's more efficient that way, it's more effective, and I remember the order becomes easier for me to make it a habit because I'm stacking my tasks in the morning. The next step in the regimen is actually the natural part that she talks about, which is where you're going to substitute your toothpaste with a mixture of cloves and myrrh, one part of each. In the video, she actually buys it from a specific company. I've looked up the company before. I wasn't able to get it over the holidays just because I was ordering a bunch of other things associated with gifts and presents, and money did what money does during the holidays. Disappeared from my bank account. But at the end of the day, I had myrrh, I had cloves at home, so I was able to make it myself with, again, just a one-to-one combination of the two ingredients. And actually, Ropo mentions in the video when she was done using the mixture from the company herself and she ran out and they were out of stock, she was able to just mix myrrh and cloves. It doesn't have a difference in potency. The only difference that you'll truly notice is in the quality of how fine the mixture is, right? Obviously, the company is going to have a process that's going to make it more fine. You at home using either a spice grinder or some other method to grind it up, it's not going to be as fine. Those are basically the two steps that Ropo went over in the video. And I guess now we're going to lay out some of the ingredients so you can see. So you can see here we have the coconut oil. We have the mixture of myrrh and cloves, a toothbrush for the application of the mixture. And then over here, again, just part of typical oral hygiene is a tongue scraper. Now, this one's a metal one. I just got this from Christmas. My mom gave me this. Now, I do oil pulling myself as it is with coconut oil, and it works efficiently. Actually, you could see that's more or less why my teeth are as white as they are today. The only thing that would be a safety precaution when doing oil pulling, after you swish the oil back and forth, because the oil pulling is also pulling bacteria and just gunk out of your gums and teeth, do not swallow the oil. Okay, coconut oil is edible, but after this process that you've pulled and extracted all of this bacteria and bad things from just your mouth, you don't want to swallow it back again. It's nasty. But on top of that, what you also want to do is when you do spit out the oil, do not spit it in the sink. So you can actually end up clogging your drain, which are going to give you plumbing problems, and then you're going to be hunting me down and I'm going to have absolutely no answers for you because I told you so. When you're spitting out that oil, either spit it into the trash can or the toilet. All right, so in Robo's video, the first part of this regimen that you do first is the oil pulling, and then it's followed with the mixture. So, got my spoon. This is the coconut oil I was talking about. Kirkland, it's the Costco brand. So basically, all you want to do is open up your coconut oil. Then, like I said, you want to get half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of this much. You want to get about this much on a spoon, and then basically you put it in your mouth, swish it back and forth for about anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. Like I said, you're going to want about this much on your spoon, and then just put it in your mouth. Wow. And you switch it back and forth. Trust me, it's going to be weird that first time. It don't feel great. Once it liquefies, you don't even notice it. So when I'm done, I'll come back. I'll come back. So the next step associated with this process is you're going to want to get that tongue scraper. You see it here. This is the stainless steel tongue scraper because basically if you look at your tongue, see that white coating? That's what we want to get rid of. So basically what you do is you take this tongue scraper and you just scrape forward. That's basically all there is to it. I'll put the microphone down so I can see what I'm doing. And then you'll be able to see. That's all the buildup that you just sit there and done. You'll notice it's not as white. So usually I for about 2 to 3 minutes, and then that's usually it because you don't want to overdo it. You will injure your tongue, one, and then two, your tongue is also part of your body. You don't want to be too rough on it, and it's a gradual process, right? This is not an instant thing where your tongue is going to be perfectly pink. Every morning, I've been doing this for at least a year or two. Every morning there's still a little bit, but you just don't want it to have that much build up on your tongue. So I'm gonna finish this process up and then I'll get right back with y'all. All right, now we finished the oil pulling and the tongue scraping. As you can see, tongue's a lot more pink like it's supposed to be. So the next part is we're going to use our cloves and myrrh mixture. Put on a paper towel so you guys can see it. Usually I just put it in my hand. That's what Roba did in the video as well. And let's see. Wow, this stuff actually smells really good. Okay, so all she says you do in the video is she says you coat your toothbrush in it. This. And you get the brushing. So, guys, let's do that. Alright, so we finished the first day of this all natural alkaline cloves and myrrh mixture for a toothpaste, and I'm not gonna lie, first impressions for day one are one, I'm noticing that just after brushing, my mouth feels a lot fresher, almost like a, if you ever used a cinnamon toothpaste, it kind of feels like that. But on top of that, it feels like when you first eat spearmint gum for the first time, you kind of have that like wintergreen feel. My mouth just feels fresher, like there's just less bacteria in it. I'm not gonna lie, the initial taste, Ropa warned about this in the video, the initial taste is, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it,
it's terrible. And I mean, you have to get used to it. But once you kind of get used to it and get past that initial burning sensation, it's actually not that bad. Well, as you've noticed, it does stain your toothbrush quite a bit. So that's why I'm using one of my old toothbrushes instead of like a newer electric one just for this challenge. And honestly, I teeth feel smooth when you run, like, run your tongue across them. Teeth feel smooth. Breath feels fresh. So, I mean, after 30 days, we'll just compare the whiteness because that's, after all, that is what we're going for. I'm not necessarily discrediting the effectiveness of this style of toothpaste. But if you think about all the different things that are in nowadays, toothpaste is, different additives and chemicals. This could be a great alternative as well, not just for all oral hygiene, not just for whitening your teeth, but to use ongoingly for oral hygiene, right? So just keep that in mind. But like I said, in 30 days, we'll get back up with you all and we'll compare the before and after, and I'll just give you my overall feedback.
So today is day 15 of the 30-day teeth whitening challenge with the cloves. As you could probably see a little bit, the smile is definitely not as yellow. So some things that I've noticed doing this is, one, so you know how usually you can use like a new mint toothpaste and that fresh sensation kind of, it wears off over time. With the cloves, always has that fresh sensation, right? And then with the oil pulling, I forgot to mention this, you can only do it a max of 2 times a week. So I do Sunday and Wednesday, and I've noticed that that helps a lot, actually, specifically for the whitening effect. Now I will notice after I use the clove and myrrh toothpaste, it leaves like this really smooth feeling on my teeth that I actually do like. That, along with the tongue scraping, has helped to keep a lot of the white buildup off of my tongue. So far, so good. Let's see if we can get a closer look at the teeth. See? So still some signs of yellow here and there, but for the most part, a pretty all around white smile. Because you'll notice even in regular light, if you smile, it'll turn yellow sometimes. So at the end of the day, we'll keep doing the rest of the 15 days. And then on day 30, we'll compare day 1 today, which is day 15, and then day 30 in the past. And I'll just give you my overall perspective of this process. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I think it works. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the all natural 30-day teeth whitening challenge. I'm just going to go over my personal, basically just my personal thoughts about the entire process. First, I noticed that the oil pulling, I don't have to do that every day. 2 times a week was plenty. So I chose Wednesday and Saturday. That worked for me. Second, remember I told you about that freshness effect with the cloves? Bro, it still lasts. Like, I'll do it in the morning because I usually like to brush my teeth before I eat breakfast. Even after breakfast, it still has that fresh sensation to it, but it's not so generic like everybody else, like, oh, spearmint, or like, oh, wintergreen. That's not me. It's totally different. It's still fresh, but it works. And what I actually incorporated is, when I was done brushing my teeth with the mixture, I would just swish it back and forth to, just work on again. Inner cheek, top, roof of the mouth, tongue. Major game changer. 100% would do that afterwards. And I would even use this mixture to brush your tongue too. It works extremely well on top of, so you do that and you also do the tongue scraping. You can kind of see my teeth now. You can kind of see with the light, it reflects off of them. They're already white, and now they have this extra, almost camera magazine level shine to them. Super cool, and it comes out really great in photos, right? And my gums, usually when I floss, I had sensitive gums. Once I started doing the oil pulling and the clove natural toothpaste, I haven't had that problem at all. So 100% would recommend doing this. Again, always check with your particular oral hygienist specialist or dentist to make sure that this is something that's going to work well for you. But in my book, this is a W. I mean, I love the effects. I'm going to keep doing it. Keep using it. You can see I just can't stop cheesing, for real. Like, I think this is a great regimen. Again, the original video and the original creator are going to be down in the description below. Go ahead and show that video some love as well. And until next time, stay fresh and keep smiling. What can I say?